Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video marks the final episode of our Taiwan Feng Shui research trip. Let's dive right into our comprehensive review and concluding thoughts on what we've discovered. While taking a taxi around the public cemeteries, I asked the driver through a translation app if Taiwanese people are interested in Feng Shui. He told me they have a significant interest in it. However, looking out the window, the cemeteries were flashy, but lacked the orderly arrangement I've seen in places like Vietnam. My conclusion is that while the Taiwanese understand the concept of Feng Shui, it operates on a completely different dimension from ours. In Korea, traditional gravesite Feng Shui places the absolute highest importance on Teojapgai. This means finding the perfect, exact spot for the deceased to rest. Here in Taiwan, however, the precise spot seems less critical than the elaborate decoration of the grave and selecting a highly auspicious date for the funeral. Let's break down these differences into three categories: architectural, topographical, and Feng Shui aspects. First, let's look at the architecture. I noticed three main characteristics. Number one is the Chilu. These are pedestrian walkways, located directly under the second floor of buildings. This pedestrian-friendly design protects people from frequent rain and harsh sunlight. Since this space isn't counted toward the building's coverage ratio, you see many mixed-use buildings with commercial spaces on the first floor and residential above. Number two, protruding balconies. Due to dense populations and expensive land, people extend their balconies to secure extra space for storage, laundry, or even kitchens. Number three, iron grills. Almost every window, high or low, has iron grills. While they prevent crime, their main purpose is safety. They prevent people, pets, or objects from falling out during Taiwan's frequent earthquakes and typhoons. Lastly, concrete retaining walls. Behind places like the National Palace, museum, or local Taoist temples, steep slopes are cut vertically and supported by concrete. In Korea, we traditionally use stone terraces, or hoagi, which preserves the natural veins of the earth. In Taiwan, these earth veins are often cut off entirely. Next is the topography. Like Korea, Taiwan is high in the east and low in the west. However, with over 250 mountains exceeding 3,000 meters, the valleys are incredibly steep and narrow. In Feng Shui, we prefer slow gathering water, but here rainwater rushes quickly to the sea. Because the land can't naturally store water well, the Taiwanese adapted. For example, near Taoyuan Airport, there are so many reservoirs. It's called the Village of 1,000 Ponds. Also, rooftop water towers are universal here to prepare for water outages caused by typhoons. Furthermore, you'll notice many building exteriors are left unpainted. In this hot, humid, and rainy climate, paint quickly molds, so leaving the concrete bare is simply more practical. Finally, the specific Feng Shui aspects. As I mentioned, picking an auspicious date is prioritized over finding the perfect spot. Funerals might be delayed for weeks until the right day arrives. Secondly, the graves are incredibly elaborate. Made of marble and cement, these luxurious tombs stem from the belief that a flashy grave ensures a better afterlife. Thirdly, Taiwanese graves beautifully blend the concepts of dwellings for the dead and dwellings for the living. Many tombs have flat roofs, supported by pillars, and are surrounded by low walls. From a distance, they look like luxurious countryside homes. This roofed area acts as a comfortable space for descendants to burn incense and pay respects without getting rained on. This trip was accompanied by some anxiety. Typhoon Feng Wang was heading towards Taiwan, right before I had to fly out to China for my next Feng Shui expedition. Thankfully, the storm's path changed, and everything went smoothly. It was a highly rewarding journey. A major highlight was at Yaliu Geopark, where I found a natural rock depression named Heol. This is the exact Feng Shui term for a vital energy point, and it looked remarkably similar to one. It was incredibly exciting. As I wrap up this Taiwan diary, I want to deeply thank my friends. Thank you for your patience and encouragement when I wandered off alone to study the terrain. I also want to mention a wonderful mother and son who joined our tour. The son was so dependable, bringing his mother on a filial trip. In K-Feng, I saw him write a wish on a sky lantern to find a good wife. I sincerely hope his wish and the wishes of all my friends written on those lanterns come true. Thank you so much for watching our Taiwan journey. See you next time.